right. I want to thank she is an OBGYN hospitalist now as well, and she has been an MD since the 80s when she graduated from the University of Iowa, Harvard Med in the Boulder area. I'm in Colorado, and she was in the Boulder area for years, but recently she relocated to Montana via Grand Junction, and now she's up in Montana. So I'm so excited, you guys, because I don't know if you know this, but so many people love Dr. Carole Christensen. If you ever look her up, people rave about her. People that have had a history of having trouble in their pregnancy before love her as their doctor for that second time around, just because she does such a great job of making sure mom and baby are safe. And one of the ways that she does that is through nutrition. And so I've asked her to come on tonight just to share a little bit more, because sometimes we just need to hear from the doctor. And Carole, I know that you, in the beginning, were super skeptical. And when you first heard Juice Plus, what do you think? Why did it make sense to you? All of that.
Okay, yeah, I mean, and actually just want to say I'm mostly retired right now, so I'm not working very much, which is really good. Yeah. But after 34 years, I think I was ready. Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, first, I mean, I heard about Juice Plus from a patient, and I really didn't know what it was. She didn't tell me much about it, but she kind of planted the seed. And then my husband was doing the Copper Triangle bike ride, and so I was just wandering around waiting for him, and there was a woman there that had a Juice Plus booth, and I thought, oh, I've heard of that, maybe I'll go find out what it really is. And once I learned what it was, really just fruits and vegetables, it just made so much sense to me. So I started my whole family on it, but I didn't tell anybody about it for a long time. But after about 6 months, I noticed and I didn't expect to feel anything. I felt like my diet wasn't all that bad. But after about 6 months, I really noticed some changes. I used to get up in the middle of the night, take Tylenol all the time because I had a headache. And all of a sudden, I realized I hadn't bought Tylenol in a long time. So I noticed that. I think I just felt better. And then Ellen also had sent home several of these little CDs with me, and I listened to them over and over and over. And it's like, well, why didn't it? They just made so much sense to me. And once, and they talked about, at the time I started it, this was I guess it was 14 years ago. There were 9 studies at the time, and even those studies were very compelling, and it just made a lot of sense to me. So after about 6 months, I actually called her because my order had gotten messed up, and I says, okay, what do I have to do to share this with people? And so that's when I started sharing it with some of my patients. And I started out very slowly, and I would talk to an occasional patient here and there. And the more I talked about it and the longer I stuck with it, and the more, I went to conferences and boot camps and all that sort of thing. And it got to the point where I really felt compelled and obligated that I just had to share it with people. I mean, they could do what they wanted to with that information, but if at least they heard it from me, they couldn't come back and say, why didn't you tell me about this years ago? So,
well, I mean, I think that's pretty big, because I remember meeting you for the first time and over the phone, actually, and you telling me, just so you guys know, I will never share this with my patients, so don't ask me. So, I mean, doctors get bombarded with stuff all the time, and patients bring in their sacks full of, should I take this? So, I mean, what do you think it was that made you feel super comfortable with saying to a pregnant mama, this would be something that you have in your body while you're growing a baby?
Yeah, I mean, it's just food. It's only fruits and vegetables. It's not a drug. So, I mean, over the years as a physician, I mean, we recommended calcium for people, and then you find out that that's not so great. You tell them to take vitamin E, and then you realize that that's not so great. But we're never going to wake up some morning and see the headlines that says fruits and vegetables are bad for you. It's not going to happen. And once you really understand what fruits and vegetables can do for you and why we need them, it's just such an easy and elegant solution to the problem, because people don't eat enough fruits and vegetables.
Right. And how important is it for a pregnant mom to eat enough fruits and vegetables?
It's crucial. Even more, I mean, everybody needs more fruits and vegetables, but I mean, the current recommendation, is 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables for the normal person. And for athletes, and I would put pregnant women in that same category, they're saying 18 to 22 servings. During pregnancy, your metabolism is greater, your heart rate's faster, you're eating more calories, your body's working hard. And so you're creating even more free radicals and creating more oxidative stress. So you need even more antioxidants from those fruits and vegetables, because that's the only place that you can get them.
Right. And then also for the baby, I mean, setting them up for their lifetime really from get-go in vitro is huge, right?
Right. Absolutely. I mean, Juice Plus, we know that it helps support our cardiovascular system, and the placenta is all blood vessels. It's all endothelium. And we know that Juice Plus is good for our endothelium. And it decreases inflammation, which I think we still don't know exactly what causes preeclampsia, but we know that inflammation is involved as part of the process. When you look at the placenta afterwards, it's totally inflamed in those people that have been really sick with preeclampsia. So, and also just eating fruits and vegetables while you're pregnant, you're even at that stage changing their taste buds. I mean, they've done studies showing that, they did a study just with carrot juice, starting at about 6 months of pregnancy, where pregnant women were instructed to drink some carrot juice every day instead of strictly water, and compared it to women that only drank water. And the babies born to the moms who drank carrot juice ate more carrots. I mean, carrots were more appealing. So even in utero, you're changing their taste buds and creating their taste buds. Not to mention the fact that you're affecting mom's genes. And I mean, you can't change your DNA, but DNA is made up of thousands of genes. And the DNA study on Juice Plus was incredible, showing where they turned on and off, good genes. And so we're affecting that for the baby, and probably not even just for that baby, but even for your grandchildren.
That's just amazing to think that, to have that premium nutrition during pregnancy.
It's right there.
Can totally, and Tracy, we need to mute you, hon, can totally change, generations of people's health. That's just amazing to me.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think that, because I know, coming from saying I'm never going to recommend this, to being, I know, a passionate doctor about giving those women that edge, did you see a change in the pregnancies that you saw, after versus before in general, do you think?
Yeah. And sometimes I didn't even realize that they were taking Juice Plus,
Yeah.
So, but babies would come out and they would be screaming and their color was different. And it was just like, I know that that's a Juice Plus baby. They held their heads up better. Wow. It was really, they're just more robust. And it was pretty interesting. So before they were born, a lot of times I didn't even know they were taking Juice Plus. I mean, someone else was taking care of my customers at the time. And so sometimes I didn't even know they were on it or not. I gave them the information, but it was totally up to them to initiate the process, because just didn't feel.
Exactly. Well, and you probably saw the difference in their placenta for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's amazing too. So take it. Now, if I'm a pregnant mom, I've had a healthier pregnancy because I had nutrition on, quite possibly, had a healthier baby maybe than I would have, and now I have this child. And if I'm still eating Juice Plus, obviously I'm feeding the child, hopefully, and the baby's getting those nutrients through my breast milk. But also, as the children get older, to have them continue to eat Juice Plus, because we have chewables, and I know that a lot of moms will open up our capsules and put them in their baby's food once they can start eating. I mean, that's an amazing thing too, to see that we can continue to affect the child's health even after they're not really in our bodies anymore, right? I mean,
absolutely. Just so many kids eat so much junk, and moms that are just, you have total control of what you're putting in your child's mouth, and this is the time to train those taste buds and get them started down the right road of healthy eating, because it has a profound effect on our long-term health. We need that nutrition forever. It's not a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. We need this variety every day. And there's no easier way or better way to do it, because as good as intentions that people have, it's hard to it's just more work to cook those things. They're not fresh anymore, and so you throw them away, and then you fix them, and then nobody eats it anyway. So right. It's just a struggle. So Juice Plus is just such an easy way to do it, that you just everybody needs to know about it. They can,
all ages,
everybody, because everybody could benefit from it. It's not just for pregnant women. It's for, men and women and kids of all ages, and people, women and people at all age groups. They need this nutrition, because certainly as you get older, then you're more worried about the other things, all of the inflammatory things and the chronic diseases. And if we could delay or prevent those by starting better nutrition at a young age, this country would be so much better off.
Yeah. One thing you said that I love that totally happened for my kids was when you said that study that was done in vitro when the kids actually liked the carrots because the mom drank the carrot juice. My kids didn't get to start Juice Plus till they were 6 and 9. Now they're in their 20s. But after I started them on Juice Plus, somebody told me right then, they said, your kids are going to start craving more fruits and vegetables. And I laughed because I thought, oh my gosh, those are force fed in my house. Well, it wasn't even a couple of months later, my son, who would never, he would be that kid that would sit at the table and cry because I'd make him eat one bite of lettuce, and he couldn't leave till he did. And of course, then it was big drama. And he ordered a salad out for dinner. And I thought, oh my gosh, there it is. And fast forward, both of my kids never would eat fast food. And it was nothing that I said. They just didn't like it. So it is true that we totally changed that metabolic programming just by what we feed ourselves and what we feed our kids. And that alone was worth every single thing that we did as far as taking Juice Plus. Amazing. And they still continue to take it today. So I love that they're healthy adults now as well. And I know you're a Juice Plus mom too. You raised your daughter on Juice Plus, and she's
unfortunately she didn't start it till she was 15, but she had, the only thing she ate that was green was broccoli and artichokes. A piece of lettuce had never crossed her lips. At 15, it's terrible. When I think of the number of chicken nuggets she ate, it's pathetic, but anyway, now after a few months on Juice Plus, she started, first time she kind of snuck a piece of lettuce out of my salad bowl. And then she was driving herself home from high school, and she'd make herself a salad. It was like, what happened to you? It was crazy. Exactly. And now she's a great cook and loves to eat healthy. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I know a lot of the buzzwords we're hearing right now is microbiome, and feeding the microbiome and the gut health. And fruits and vegetables provide the nutrients and the fibers and things that help to do that. So don't you think too that just by getting more fruits and vegetables, even if it's, in a capsule, we have that proprietary process that reduces, all of the produce into juice, and we take out the water, sugar, and salt. Then we also add back in a little bit of that plant fiber. That having that healthy microbiome and helps your colon and gut health. And I know they've tied so many of the new inflammation diseases to the fact that because there's so much processed food out there that people really just have killed their gut health.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So just by getting some more plants too helps with your immune system, which is really important right now, keeping that microbiome healthy. And
I just want to, one of my favorite research studies, again, that's part of the other reason that I felt so comfortable telling people about Juice Plus is because of the research. And again, at the time that I started, there were only 9 studies. There's now, I think, 38. These have been done on, in 8 different countries, on 4 different continents, at, published, or the research has been done by, big name universities around the world and published in good journals. But one of them that I thought that's pretty new was on on polyphenols, which I just thought was so interesting. They took a group of people and had them no supplements or that kind of thing for at least 2 weeks before this one day. It was a 1-day study. And then 2 days before, they were given a list of foods to eat and not eat because they were going to be testing for polyphenols. So they were supposed to have a diet that had no polyphenols in it. And so then on the day of the study, they came in fasting, they drew blood baseline, and then gave them a fruit, a veggie, and a berry capsule. So one of each, and then drew blood again at 1, 2, 5, and 10 hours. And what was interesting about it is that and they were testing for 20 different polyphenols. And some of them only showed up at the 2 hours, showing that some of these polyphenols are absorbed in the upper GI tract. And then some of them didn't show up until 5 or 10 hours. And so, they're, absorbed in the lower GI tract. But what was really interesting is that they were able to measure polyphenols that aren't even in Juice Plus. And so what they hypothesized is that the body was stimulated by taking Juice Plus to convert those polyphenols into different polyphenols. And all they were testing for was these 20 things. I mean, what else is our body making that we need, and our body needs those polyphenols as well as what else is it making stimulated by Juice Plus? And this was 1 dose. So, I mean, just think of what this is doing for you when you're taking it day after day and year after year. It's, even if you don't feel any different, it's doing magic.
Isn't that great? And you know what? You don't feel your DNA getting damaged or repaired. So
no, absolutely not. So it's just, everybody needs this stuff. And I mean, it's such a bargain, because if you were to go out, the trio, the fruit, veggie, and berry capsules, 30 different fruits, vegetables, and berries, you couldn't afford to feed that to your family every day. And number one, you couldn't find this stuff year round.
Right.
And you're not going to fix it, and nobody's going to eat all that stuff anyway. So it's just such an easy way to get that nutrition that our bodies so desperately need. So, I mean, what if it worked? What if you felt better? What if you were sick less? What if your kids were sick less and you missed less work and they missed less school? What if you needed fewer medications? I mean, it's like, if you don't have your health, you've got nothing.
That's right.
So this is just such an easy way to support our bodies.
Well, I love that you have this view from the beginning of life until, the whole journey through, and that it's so important for every single body, every single day. And I love that you're such a passionate physician who cares enough to really look at somebody's whole person versus just a piece and a part like so many other practitioners do. So thank you for being this, progressive thinking doctor who loves everybody enough to share Juice Plus.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
Yes. Well, thank you, Carole,
so
much. And you guys get with the person who invited you. Please put Juice Plus in your body, put it in your baby's bodies, put it in your mama's bodies, put it in your grandparents' bodies, put it anywhere you can think of, because it really does do good. We've got the research to prove it. It's not just one little old study. It's lots of research, which is why people like Carole can recommend it and feel obligated to do so versus worrying about, anything else. So thank you guys all for joining us. Carole, thank you again. And you guys all have a great evening.
Take care.